the death penalty, we're looking at a legalized use of lynching. The death penalty is inherently racist. As we look at Colorado's population, black people as a whole make up about 4.6%. You can reason that about half of that are black men, which makes about Colorado's population about 2.3. 100% of Colorado's death row population is black men. I am not much older than any of them sitting on death row right now. So you really could be looking in the face of what a death row inmate looks like in Colorado. Mm-hmm. I want to share a story. In 1998, let me get the pretext to the story. And understanding that some of the people who are against this bill who are moving forward do not think that a lifelong incarceration is a suitable punishment for somebody who has been found guilty of murder. I unfortunately know what the end of that road looks like. In 1998, I was convicted and sent to prison for a term of 3 years. I served about 2.5, give or take. Shortly, about a month and a half into my prison sentence, I got really sick with pneumonia. And I was rushed out of the hospital in the back of an ambulance to Pueblo. And I was in the Pueblo State Hospital, or Colorado State Hospital in Pueblo for about a week or so, and then reintroduced into the Colorado Department of Corrections. And in the reintroduction of that, I had to go to the infirmary. And the infirmary is what they call the old prison, behind the walls. And for the average person, an infirmary is a place that's very like a hospital. And prison is very much like a hospice. That is where old prisoners go to die. They go to die by themselves, shackled to a bed, with no friends or family beside them. It is a horrible, horrible, horrible way to die. Many of the people who choose to plead down to life in prison, if they could see what I had the unfortunate opportunity to see, if they could see that, they probably would choose the death penalty. Because it's a very lonely place. I was only there, thankfully I was on the mend, headed back into my home prison. But I cried almost every day because I saw people 90, 80, 75, some people with cancer who were only in their 40s and 50s, dying, shackled to a bed by themselves. Now, before I get lost in the weeds of that story, I want to reiterate just how racist and how disproportionate the death penalty is, especially as it's applied in Colorado. And I promise I will be brief. 29 death row inmates have been exonerated in the last decade. 100 of those exonerated were either acquitted or the charges were dropped. 100% of those cases, the reason for the exoneration was either perjury, false accusations, false or misleading forensic evidence, and or official misconduct. We have a fallible, flawed criminal justice system. As long as that exists, we cannot rightfully charge anybody with the possibility of death through the courts. In 2019, census estimates puts Colorado black population, I read that. Nationwide, black men account for approximately 14% of the total population of the country, but 41%. So you reverse the numbers. 14% of the country, 41% of death row inmates. That is the definition of disproportion. In Colorado, people of color are 5 times more likely to face the death penalty. In the 18th Judicial District, people are 4 times more likely to face the death penalty. People of color in those counties are 14 more likely to face the death penalty. Between 1999 and 2010, people of color faced 91% of the death prosecutions. In cases where the victim was white, people are over 4 times more likely to face the death penalty. And this is just in the 18th Judicial District, Arapahoe County. Furthermore, no credible evidence exists that death penalty deters crime any more than long prison sentences. I would state statistical fact, but I do want to add to the fact that knowing that these inherent racial biases exist in America for black people, black men in particular, a sense of hopelessness, helplessness, and an inevitable sense of early death or incarceration torments many black men from the time that they are youth, far more than the threat of a state-sanctioned murder. In other words, we're more scared of dying in the streets or going to prison than any death penalty. There's a whole record label in the 1990s called Death Row Records. There's a reality in our lives that does not necessarily deter crime, nor does it promote crime. I end with this. In 2012, I was falsely accused and wrongfully arrested in Arapahoe County for some very heinous crimes. Thankfully, they were not eligible for the death penalty. However, they were eligible for what was called an indeterminate sentence. In Colorado, what that means is that there is no out date. There's no 5 till. It's just 5 until they decide to let you out. In Colorado, no one who's ever been convicted of an indeterminate sentence has ever been removed or has ever been set free. After about 4 years of fighting the case, I finally went to trial. On the second day of trial, after testimony was started to be shared, the district attorney came to me and my lawyer, who I had to pay over $30,000 for, and offered a plea deal. A plea deal of dropping 4 serious felonies that they felt they were obligated to pursue in light of the evidence that would lock me up probably for the rest of my life. They dropped all 4 of this if I pled guilty to a misdemeanor and paid a $250 fine. Now put that in the context of if this was a crime that was eligible for the death penalty. I think Representative King that was trying to get to the point of this. Yes, it is under duress when the district attorney and the prosecution has so much leverage and a relationship that is so heavily weighted to their benefit that anyone who finds themselves, whether they're wrongly accused or they actually have committed the crime, it's in their benefit to play ball so that they get as much leniency as possible. We've heard over and over about people who have pled guilty or took a lesser charge just to get back to work to take care of their families. What would you do if you just wanted to make sure you didn't die one day by the hands of the state? I'll close with this. The prosecutor from Arapahoe County said she wanted you to think about just what about the next crime? What about the next person who commits a crime that was just as heinous? I take nothing away from what those young men did to Mrs. Fields and their family, but what about the next person who's wrongly convicted? What about the next black man who's minding his business and is accused of something that he didn't do, but has no legal resources or even a criminal justice system that's on his side to fight that case? And he ends up looking at a death penalty and takes a plea simply because that's the only thing that affords him the rest of his life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Committee. Are there questions for anyone on our panel? All right, seeing none, thank you all for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, Gene Freeland, if you're here, please.